So, what we're going to do today. Last week we were talking about the scientific method. Okay? And so we are going to continue that journey, but we are going to go out to sea. Because you guys have been working on oceanography lessons on Nearpod. And so Egbert here is going to go out to sea, and he's going to go through a couple of different experiments within oceanography and chemistry. So I'm going to put Egbert in the boat, and off we go. Everyone can identify that this is a glass of water. Thumbs up? Yeah? You can use your reaction tool. Thumbs up. Glass of water. Okay. Is this a glass of water?
No.
Might be a trick question. Okay. Well, I'm going to take Egbert and I'm going to put him into what would appear a normal, ordinary glass of water.
Please don't go here.
And what did Egbert just do? He sunk to the bottom.
He died.
Now I'm going to take what appears to be another ordinary glass of water. And I'm going to put Egbert in.
No, he's floating.
And Egbert's floating. So what could possibly be the difference between these two glasses of water? Oh, it's water.
You put salt in it. Then you put something in it.
I put something in it. Yes, I did.
Salt. Put salt in it.
I put salt in it. Okay, good guess. Good guess.
Yeah.
All right, that's not an ordinary glass of water, is it?
Milk. That's milk.
It is? Can you all see that the egg is floating on the top?
So.
Kind of, sort of.
It's powder.
It's powder? Well, it's not milk. And I did take an ordinary glass of water, but I did put something in it.
It looks like a lot of salt.
Well, technically it is. So, what we're going to talk about today,
Yeah, who's screaming?
we are going to blend chemistry and oceanography. So, we've talked about this formula, H2O, and that's what this is. Pure H2O, nothing else in it. This is the chemical formula for salt. And that's what's in here. Salt is in this container, or this water. So now we have salt water. And that's the difference between the two different types of water I have here. Which is why the egg floats, or not floats in this, sinks in this one, and floats in this one. Now this particular one right here, I put baking soda in. Now the baking soda won't go into solution, which is what this did. So if we march back to some of the discussions we had in matter and solutions, and when we made the Chex Mix and we had the mixture and we could pull everything out of the mixture, and then we made the salt water, and that was a solution because we could combine the water and the salt. Well, this is not a full solution, okay? I have to actually, in order for the egg to float in here, I have to mix the baking soda up. And then I can set the egg in, and it sits up at the very top of the water. Seeing if you guys can see that, because I know it's not very clear. But as the baking soda comes back out of solution, like the sand solutions we were playing with in our matter unit, the egg's falling to the bottom with the baking soda. So why does the egg float for a little bit? Well, that's because baking soda is this chemical formula. Na, and that's hydrogen, carbon, and oxygen, which is baking soda is sodium bicarbonate. So the sodium that is in the baking soda is what makes the water, changes that density of the water just slightly for just a small amount of time. And then when it comes back out of solution, the egg winds up going to the bottom. Okay? So it's something you guys could play around with at home. No, we're not done. Because I have another really cool thing that we're going to do to play around a little bit with water. Okay, so I have my flask, and for you to do this, one, you do need to get mom and dad's permission and uncle before you do this, okay? Two, one of the things that you need to have, that's actually the key to the experiment, it's called Alka-Seltzer tablets. This is something you need to ask mom and dad for, and you don't play around with them by yourself. So, the next little chemistry piece is I'm going to add some oil to this flask.
That's a waste of ingredient.
No, not for what you're about to see. Alright, let's see if I can get the water in here.
Last time it was scary.
Okay,
Last time it was like Diet Coke.
so when you mix oil and water, do they actually mix?
No.
No.
Yes. They're unmixable.
That's true, they're unmixable. They don't like each other.
They want
And
to
it-
fight.
It's kind of like what happens with water and baking soda. The baking soda is not going to go into full solution with the water. It creates a mixture, but it won't go into full solution with the water. Now the next piece that I'm going to do is I'm going to add some food coloring to this. Alright, are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
It's not booming.
Oh, just wait a minute.
It's like a homemade lava lamp.
Yes, it is.
Hey.
Yes, it is.
Wait, that's the point? It's a lava lamp.
It's like a homemade lava lamp. And the cool piece is that one of the active ingredients in Alka-Seltzer is
Lava.
baking soda, the NHCO3. So last week we played around with the baking soda and vinegar. And so that baking soda, that has a chemical reaction piece. And so it looks like it has fizzled out. So, this is something simple you can do at home. All you need is just regular cooking oil, some food coloring. You do need water, which you can get out of any faucet in your house. The only thing that you do need is that you do need the Alka-Seltzer tablet, okay? I'll put all the ingredients on the Padlet just like I did last week. So basically, today's lesson, today's live demonstration was to take you through and show you a little bit about the density properties of salt water, which is one of the things we talked about with our oceanography unit. And so, get the egg out so that you guys can see this one more time. So, this is the salt water. And there's our egg in the salt water. Okay? And one of the things you could do at home is you can take an egg and water and salt and see how much salt will it take till you can get the egg to float. That was part of what I did this morning in experimenting to see how much salt did I need. And that's what happens when it's in regular water.
Yeah, it goes, and it drowns, and it dies.
So, some very basic things that you can do at home with salt, water, an egg, or oil, water, food coloring, and that little Alka-Seltzer tablet. Well,
Stay. It's still cool. Oh yeah, we don't want to waste it.
I understand that. Okay, I have one last thing. This I haven't tried. Okay?
Sprite?
So, huh? Is it Sprite? No.
Get Sprite. How is that cool?
Well, it's cool because what's the egg doing?
It's floating in the middle.
It's floating in the middle.
Floating.
All right, so what do you think the two substances are? What do you think the two substances are?
Sprite and salt water.
Sprite and salt water, okay. Well, I'll tell you. Now, this takes us back to those bottles that we made. The density bottles, which I know the beads weren't set in quite the right way, and we used alcohol. But what's in here is the bottom was a very strong salt solution. The egg, as you saw, when I set it in there, it floated on top, just like it did with the pure salt solution here. I added pure water to the top, and that is what's allowing it to float in the middle. So another thing that you can try at home.